Now we are back live here from the show floor of NAB 2019, and now I'm here with Roger Mabon of mLogic. Roger, thanks for talking to us.
Certainly, thank you for dropping by.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. So one big problem video producers have today is storage, and you know, with us, there's really two issues. One is the places you're going to put your footage while you're working on it, the you know, production drives.
The online kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Editing or audio or color perhaps, that type of thing.
Right, right. And several people might have to work on that at one point in time. But then what do you do with the footage afterwards? You want to back it up, you want to archive it, you want to get it off somewhere so you've got your production drives. I know that's kind of where mLogic specializes in. Tell us a bit about your products.
Yeah, so we do definitely specialize in LTO tape archiving. So the idea that once you wrap a production, you actually put it somewhere that is going to be safe for the long term. Unlike just sticking your content on a hard drive and putting it on a shelf, which unfortunately a lot of people do, it's a much better solution to actually get your content backed up or archived onto LTO tape, because this thing has a shelf life of 30 plus years, right? So this is the safest medium on the planet, and it's very cost effective too, which is also great.
Yeah, because once you buy the drive, now you just need media. Correct. And the media is much cheaper than buying a whole new hard drive every time.
So this is an LTO7 tape, and it holds 6 terabytes, and it's about $50, so it's very inexpensive. So that's, we kind of, you know, I used to work at a company called G Technology. I actually founded it that sells, you know, we sold a lot of hard drives in our day. So my new mission now is to make sure that all of that data or all that content that's on all those drives is going to be preserved for the future. And LTO is where it's got to end up.
So I think for the young people in the audience, you know, like myself, they hear like tape and they think, oh, that's my father's archive medium.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm now, you know, moving on to the next newest, greatest thing. I've got RAIDs, I've got, you know, network attack storage with, you know, drive redundancy.
Yeah.
Why is tape still better?
Well, I mean, you can see here with this tape, there's no moving parts in it, right? It's just one big piece of optical tape. So that's one reason why it can sit around, because there's no motors, there's no moving parts in this. Unlike a hard drive sticks on a shelf, there's a motor, there's heads that can get stuck to the platters inside. And yeah, it sounds like it's old school, but you know, this is where all critical assets end up on this type of tape. So people from banking industry to the IRS to medical records and everything, it all resides here when it has to be protected for the long term.
I think a lot of people, if they're in a company that doesn't have its own IT department, a small, you know, mom and pop operation, a lot of times they get confused between backup and archive. You don't really want to use tape for backup, right? Because you need quick access to those files.
That's true.
What's the difference between backup and archive?
Yeah, archive is a long-term process. This is like cold storage, if you will. So this, you know, when I wrap my production and I have my couple terabytes or whatever on here, this sits on a shelf for the long term, right? So this is not, I don't need it right away. It's not an online type of situation. Right, but it's protected, it's archived for the future.
Right, so using things like the RAID 1 technology and, you know, mirroring, that's great for backup,
sure,
but not for archiving, whereas this, you wouldn't want to use this for backup because you don't have quick access to it, but for archive, you've got long-term storage.
That's absolutely true, that's exactly right. And, you know, people also deliver on LTO now, so some studios require, or stations require that the content is delivered on LTO, so there's also that aspect of this type of technology too.
So you've got a very impressive looking tower over here.
Yeah.
What do you have? And that can't be just a tape drive.
No. So this is our newest product we just introduced at NAB, and this is called the mSpeed Pro. And basically it's kind of a hybrid system. It's an 11-disc RAID, so high-speed Thunderbolt 3 RAID with an integrated LTO tape drive inside. So the idea here is you do all of your work, like the editing and the color and the sound or whatnot, the online work. And once you're done, you actually just archive to the built-in LTO. So then your content is now here, and you can erase what's on the drives and start your next project. So it's just an integrated system together, which is quite unique.
And if someone already has their own RAID or their own backup, you know, primary storage, what do you have for them?
Yeah, so we have this device. This is called our M-Tape, and this is, as you can see, a small semi-portable single LTO drive, and it has a Thunderbolt 3 connection to the host, so it's very simple plug and play. And This is a very popular unit in the M&E space. We sell tons of these to people, so they back up on set, near set, from whatever their storage might be. So this is just a really, really simple way to archive your footage to LTO tape.
And you mentioned that it's Thunderbolt 3.
Yeah.
I don't know how fast LTO drives are these days. Are they able to get anywhere near the sort of backup speed that could provide, or could you just have USB 3?
Yeah, so the tape can do 300 megabytes per second. That's as fast as it can go, which is quite fast. It's faster than a single hard disk. But Thunderbolt 3 can handle 2,500 megabytes per second. So the pipe is very large, and the tape doesn't fill a lot of it. But in this device, then you're sharing the bus, and it's nice to have a big pipe because you've got high-speed RAID and tape sharing there on the Thunderbolt bus.
So last question, do you guys have anything for sort of multi-user collaboration on this, like a network attached product?
So we do have a device that looks similar to this box that is a Thunderbolt 3 storage area network. So you can actually share among multiple workstations over Thunderbolt. We call it the mSAN. So that's a collaborative storage solution that we offer.
So is that using like iSCSI over Thunderbolt or that sort of technology?
Yeah, exactly. So like I said, the connections are Thunderbolt to all the hosts, and you can actually share. You have to use some software like XSAN from Apple, or there's a company called Tiger Technology that has software, or StoreNext from Quantum.
But for small work groups, that's really a great solution because 10 gig Ethernet is still not widely available on a lot of small work group sort of machines. It's expensive to get into it. You've got to buy adapters and that sort of stuff. And 1 gig, GigE, which is on most workflows today, really doesn't allow you to take advantage of the speeds here, right?
Right, that's true. Yeah, so doing it over Thunderbolt 3 is really cool. And it's very inexpensive to do it, so perfect for smaller work groups.
Roger Mabon, mLogic, thank you so much for your time. That was really informative.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
And that's all the time we have here, but we will be back with more interviews in just a few minutes, so please stay right here on Live Now.